Hello, everybody, and welcome to what will become a regular series here at Capture the Magic, which is the latest progress update for Universal Studios Epic Universe, which is a brand new theme park set to open in 2025. If you've been keeping up with its construction, you'll know it's making some amazing progress. So much so that it's kind of hard to actually keep up with all the progress. For those that may not know, Universal Studios Epic Universe is located just 2 miles south of Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. This new park will have brand new lands including a How to Train Your Dragon Land, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Dark Universe, and the one I'm looking forward to the most, Super Nintendo World. So in today's video, we'll start with one of the most anticipated lands people are looking forward to, the Dark Universe. Now, Disney World has set many standards in the theme park world. One of the main ones is that they use timeless characters as the cornerstone of their parks. It definitely seems that Universal is doing that in Epic Universe with Universal Classic Monsters, as they are getting their very own land, and they have been a staple in the Universal parks for decades. Now, one thing that I really enjoy about theme parks is how they transport you into various lands, or otherwise known as portals, into these lands. And the portal to Classic Monsters is shaping up to look quite unique, as the tree roots and rock work can be seen as they continue to work on this portal. As we first enter the land, there is a newly added metal frame, which will eventually receive some theming to make it look more like a broken wall or archway as you enter into this village. Another recent development is a wall to enclose the land. There's a gap in the wall which might be where the exit of the land will be, or one of them. More scaffolding has been added to the retail shop on the right, and they are working on theming the outside. Plus, some theming elements for the exterior structures can be seen off to the side. The village here will have shops, restaurants, and 2 rides. The main attraction will be set in a manor. We don't know much about this ride, but it could be Universal's version of Disney's Haunted Mansion, which gives it the potential to be a great attraction. It is believed that this will be what is known as a Kuka Arm attraction, based on some of the track that was laying nearby some time ago. So if you're confused as to what a Kuka Arm ride system is, just take a look at Harry Potter's Forbidden Journey ride over at Islands of Adventure. That's what we mean by a Kuka Arm attraction. They recently added this yellow barrier to the ramp that leads to the entrance of the manor attraction. Concrete will be poured here, and next to the restaurant in the land, there's some new metal framing that has also been added. The other attraction in this land is a family-friendly roller coaster, most likely called the Curse of the Werewolf. Wood has been added to the barn-style roof of the show building, and there's potential that this will very much be a ride like Hagrid's, where the ride takes you into show buildings with animatronics inside. Now, at the back of the attraction is the load and unload area. At the number 2, there's more framing that's been added over the tracks, and at 3 and 4 are some new concrete forms off to the side of the roller coaster. So now let's take a look at the central hub of Epic Universe. The dome attraction is believed to be called Constellation Carousel. Now, Universal has filed a patent for a ride system that looks like it's for this attraction. So it should be a carousel attraction, which makes sense when you consider the name of the attraction is, well, Constellation Carousel. When it's all done, it will be surrounded by water and have a stained glass look to it. Temporary scaffolding has been placed in the center, just like the bigger dome once had. From the sky, this doesn't look very big, admittedly, but if you take a look at the size of the workers compared to the scaffolding and the pole on the outer edge, even the smaller dome looks to be quite large. So this will be interesting to watch as it shapes up and more than likely becomes the carousel attraction here in the center of the park. Now, the restaurant continues to see work around it, and here you can see the stairs that go down into the underground kitchen, which has been completely covered now. Dining will be at the lower level, overlooking the water and the central hub attraction. This restaurant is looking like it could be a rather fancy one. Now it's over to the land that I personally am looking the most forward to, which is Super Nintendo World. Once completed, to enter Mushroom Kingdom, you are going to go through a green portal and up the escalators where you will come out of Princess Peach's castle. The buildings in the foreground are believed to be Nintendo-related cafe and shopping centers, available to guests if the land is at capacity or closed for a private event. The Mushroom Kingdom will be a multi-level land with a lot of kinetic energy, and if you've ever seen footage from Universal Studios Hollywood or Japan, then you will understand what this will look like. Hint, It's pretty amazing, as it looks like you just stepped into a video game. There's also some new pavement that has been placed in front of Princess Peach's castle. You can see the contrast between the darker and lighter concrete, but it won't matter, as eventually this will all be a very bright and colorful floor. And here is an aerial shot of Mount Beanpole that is going to be in Super Nintendo World. And again, the yellow track there is Yoshi's Adventure, and the top right is where we start seeing the Donkey Kong track, as this attraction is going to be to the back of the land. So here's another shot into Mushroom Kingdom over in Super Nintendo World. So Peach's castle is at the stairs, you can see to your right, and the yellow track that you can see kind of down and to the left a little bit is Yoshi's Adventure. And here's a more aerial shot of the Mushroom Kingdom, and the arrow at the entrance there is for Mario Kart. So you can kind of give you an idea of the lay of the land. So you have Yoshi's Adventure to the right, and Mario Kart is going to be to the left. Out the back of the Mushroom Kingdom is the highly anticipated Donkey Kong Mine Cart Coaster. This will be a very unique coaster, and if you remember Donkey Kong Country back in the day of the video game, this coaster is inspired by that. Now this ride has two tracks, one with a fake track that has been built with the real track being sideways. This will give the illusion that the cart is hopping over the broken track, if you remember that from the video game. And 5, it's hard to see, but you can see the sideways track is there, but it's just got the same color. And we're starting to see some of the way in which this starts looking like a Donkey Kong roller coaster with the wood planks that are, not quite neatly aligned in there. At the Donkey Kong coaster, frames have been added on the building off to the side. This will be for future theming, and we can take a look at the model of the coaster and see that there is potentially a hut in this location. So this is where potentially a meet and greet will be. Now let's head over to the Wizarding World with its stone brick portal. After we go through the portal, the entrance to the land has a big arch that's made to look like the Porte Saint-Denis in Paris. I don't know if I said that correctly, but that's what it's supposed to look like. Here's an aerial photo of the Harry Potter related land here. So if we look at number 1 is the Porte de Saint-Denis. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, at the land entrance. Number 2 is a courtyard in the streets of Paris. 3 is a steep backdrop street. 4, there's towers that will have spires of basilica of another French word that I am not even going to try to pronounce. And 5 is a show building section with a theater attraction. We can see there's a lot more scaffolding over it compared to images in the past, and this land has some really tall buildings very similar to Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Orlando. We don't know the actual name of the land, but since this is themed to Place Cachet, it makes sense that it might just be called that. This land will have a theater attraction with rumors that it will be based on the circus from the film. The main attraction of this land is rumored to be the British Ministry of Magic. It's inside the building, so we can't see any of the work so far, but it's believed we will travel through a Floo network to get there, just like in the movies. The other rumor here is that the ride is going to be an elevator-style attraction, and behind the wall is where a future expansion pad will be. It looks like a doorway is being built for future access to this expansion pad. And this is another shot of the Harry Potter area. Number 1, again, is the theatrical show, and 2 looks like it's going to be where the Ministry of Magic is, or at least a visit into the Ministry of Magic right there. Now let's head over to the dueling racing coaster, which is believed to be called Starfall Racers. This is a massive roller coaster and most certainly not a family coaster. The track here has been completed, and the roof of the load area looks almost complete with a few more steel frames needed. A little forest has appeared at this roller coaster, as greenery can be seen on both ends of this attraction, which is rather wild as we are 2 years away from being open and we are already seeing landscaping. Now next to dueling coasters is the How to Train Your Dragon, the Isle of Berk land. Now this may surprise some, but this is going to be the largest land in Epic Universe, probably because it's going to be based for kids and families. It'll have 3 rides, a theater attraction, and a play area for kids. As we enter through the portal, 2 giant statues can now be seen. All the scaffolding has come down, so we can get a really good look at them now. Behind the statue, work continues on the Viking ships. We can now see the front of the boat with a sculpted dragon on it, and this area will be filled with water when it's all done. Rock work can also be seen inside the roller coaster track. This ride will be a family launch coaster. Lots of work is still being done over the load station, where we can now see roofing being placed over the wood frame that we've been watching take shape for over the past few months. Also, more wood has been placed to extend the building. From what we can see here, it looks like this family coaster will be more than just track, with many themed elements around it. Again, much like Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure is a coaster with many set pieces to it. Over here around the footers, we can see more work to theme the area. The gift shop can be seen here, and this is next to the Great Hall restaurant and has now begun to get covered. One of the other attractions in the land will be an interactive boat ride where you can probably get soaked if you're feeling too hot on a warm Central Florida day. Also, another new addition is the bridge that has been added next to the ride. Lots of theming has begun around the wall to this attraction. A bunch of scaffolding can be seen here to theme the walls of the boat ride. The theater attraction has now received some of its roof. This is rumored to be the Untrainable stage show that we've seen in Universal Beijing, and the name, The Untrainable Dragon, was trademarked a few months ago by Universal. Work continues on this shop across the Great Hall. This is believed to be a candy store. The name How to Treat Your Dragon has also been trademarked by Universal, so this could be where they use that. And according to the filing, this retail location will serve candy, chocolate, confections, baked goods, and ice cream, as well as some apparel. So it could be very much like the new shop in Minion Land called Bake My Day, also at Universal Studios, where they have merchandise as well as baked goods. Over here will be the kids' play area, and construction has continued in this area. You can see more of the structure has been built, as well as some metal framing on top of the wall for future theming. Now we'll take a quick look at the progress happening on the two hotels outside of Epic Universe. The hotel that looks to be the closest to being complete is believed to be called the Stella Nova. Work has continued on the pools outside, and we can now get an idea of what the color-changing paneling that will go on the outside of the hotel will look like. I'm very curious to see how this is going to look when it's completed, and if it's going to have some cool nighttime color effects on the outside. The second hotel has been seeing lots of progress since the last time we looked at it, and this one is believed to be called Universal Terra Nova Resort. The hotel that is going to be inside Epic Universe. Yes, if you're not familiar with this, there is going to be a hotel inside of Epic Universe, and the progress in this one has been much slower, and in the front of the hotel we can see a building that will end up being a restaurant. Alright, well that is going to do it for the latest construction happening at Epic Universe. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel before you leave. We will be doing more Epic Universe updates as more progress is made. Here at Capture the Magic, we also have vlogs to bring you some first-hand views from the parks, and over on the CT and Podcast YouTube channel, we discuss all things theme parks in much greater detail over there. Let us know in the comments what you think about Epic Universe construction progress and what land are you most looking forward to. Until next time, we will see you in the parks.